Hey guys, so this video might come off a little controversial, and it's because it's about Stephan. Now, he's a crazy successful YouTuber, right? He's smart, he's creative, he's a great role model for so many people, and I admire so much about him. His perspective, his work ethic, everything he's done for the community has been pretty amazing in terms of investments and wealth, especially for the younger generation. And he's an inspiration for me making this channel too. So maybe it's a little hard for me to title this video how I did. And in watching him, basically I found out something that I want to make sure I talk about, right? It's something that I've actually struggled with too. And maybe he's struggling with it right now. Maybe, it's even holding him back from more success, which is crazy to think about because he's obviously very successful and he's gone so far in his career. So let me explain. Now, one of the biggest trends in the finance space and people that maybe, are like me and they're trying to show their portfolio and teach wealth is this idea of minimalism, financial minimalism. Now, Graham's just one of them. So we've got Nate O'Brien is very, very minimalist. Here's his minimalist apartment. And Andre Jick is even kind of a minimalist too. How to get rich by being cheap. This is him eating one spaghetti. That's all he gets for his dinner. But this is an idea of just basically living below your means, right? It's this idea that, hey, I'm going to live below my means. I'm just going to buy what I can afford. And this is probably the safest way to be, right? The best way to save money. It's hard to argue that. But there's something seriously wrong with taking this mentality too far. And if you want to actually grow your wealth, be on the other side, the flip side of growing instead of saving, you should probably know what this is. Now, in this video, I'm also going to share 3 mindset shifts that I think have helped me be more successful and me build up a portfolio of now 3.6 million. It's crazy to see it grow. And, I'm so humbled to be able to create this content for you guys. So this is 3 principles that I think are really important for how you should just think about money and time. And I want to get this video specifically in front of as many people as possible because I just know how important the principles in this video are to creating wealth. So please take a second, click like on this video so more people can see it. I'd really appreciate it. So let's get back to Graham. So he's famous for hating on paying for iced coffee, and he loves this idea of price hacking, right? With his Tesla, $78 Tesla, or the $0 home. It's a pretty darn good headlines, but he also is just really thinking about the money all the time and how can he kind of offset the money. And I actually watched a video of him doing a renovation. I'm not sure which video it was, but he's doing this renovation on his own house, and he was the one doing some of the work around the house. And he said, I'll put up this tiling instead of pay a couple $100s. And that was kind of interesting to me. Look, if you like doing the work and you get value from it, that's one thing, right? Where you would actually literally would rather mow your own lawn and get value from it because you like being outside, you like working with your hands. It's kind of what I like doing because I'm on the computer all day. But it seems to me that he has like a real obsession with not spending money. And to me, that's the biggest issue and kind of pitfall with this idea of financial minimalism. It's obsessing over the pennies and basically missing the dollars. And look, I don't know enough about Graham to know if this holds him back personally or, if he has the right balance or if he's taking it too far. But I do know that instead of spending time renovating his house, right, instead of doing that himself and spending hours, he can instead delegate that, outsource it, and his net value of time, the way he's spending it is he's not valuing it very high, right? He could use that time for things that are much more important. Simply, if you want to do like an apples to apples comparison, he could use that time for something more profitable, right? So for a few hours of doing housework and saving a couple $100s, he could be making a quick vlog, maybe post something on Insta, post something on a secondary channel, maybe finish a prior video so he actually can release the next one sooner. All these things would certainly bring more dollars than his time spent doing housework, right? If it takes him 4 hours to save $200, that's him valuing his time at $50 per hour. With a 40-hour work week, that's $2K per week or $8K per month. Now, look, $50 per hour is a great wage, right? That's nothing to complain about. But his time is worth way more than that. He's earning hundreds of thousands per month, maybe up to $800,000 per month or maybe more. But that would be devaluing his time by 100x, literally 100 times. So that's the closest comparison of value, but there's a lot more behind the scenes. Maybe him taking a few hours as a break to spend time with his girlfriend would maybe help the relationship. Look, I don't know, right? But it helps for mine. Increasing maybe my happiness, my quality of life by taking a second and just not doing that and spending that extra time. So just having time to refresh is also important, right? We often get in the zone of like work, work, work. Our brains want us to keep busy rather than productive, which is why like the infinite scroll is so powerful on social media. But just having time to refresh so you can refresh the productivity, the creativity, and avoid burnout is really valuable. So it took him a while even to start outsourcing his editing, right? Which is a huge time waster that a lot of talented people out there could do for him. Could free up his time, increase his productivity, increase all of his creative juices, right? So let's take another successful YouTuber. Let's take Meet Kevin. Now, Meet Kevin is insane, right? The amount of content he creates and just like his setup. This is his $200,000 YouTube studio setup with all this crazy stuff going on. Look, Kevin is not a minimalist, right? At least when it comes to his gear. He's a maximalist in many, many ways. But what he is doing is minimizing his time drain, the amount of time he has to spend with everything that he's doing. And that's why he's able to pump out so many more videos than literally anyone else. Like one day ago, look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 days ago, 8 videos in 2 days, insane. And he's kept this up over and over again. So is it surprising that he's growing faster than everyone else? He's pumping out more content than everyone by maximizing his cost in his studio just so he can minimize his time. Now, before I get any further, I want you to know, look, living below your means is good. Okay, I want to be clear about that. It's the only way that you can get ahead, all right? You want to avoid this thing called lifestyle creep, which I was able to do as I kind of made more and more money. It's this idea of lifestyle creep. Lifestyle creep is this idea where it's kind of a phenomenon where consumption increases on non-essential items as the standard of living improves. Basically, with lifestyle creep, luxury goods and discretionary spending become perceived as right. And it's not a choice anymore, right? It's my right to have that expensive bag or that, look, 99.9% chance you're a guy watching this channel. The data is insane. But if you make it, right, the first thing you buy should not be a Lambo, right? So you want to try to avoid this lifestyle creep. So instead of this girl version, we'll go to this guy version. We got to get more women in finance, but here we go. Lifestyle creep. You get a raise, you have more money, you spend more money because you have more money, and then you basically don't have enough money and you got to work harder and you don't end up saving. So we want to avoid this. So we want to make sure that you leave cash in to invest, right? Or maybe grow a business or invest in yourself, like education-wise and buying courses to help you grow a business or freeing up your time to focus on your work or growing your wealth. Look, the next time you have the chance to save some money or you have the chance to save some time, I challenge you to think like, what could I be doing more with my time that has more value, right? Taking 30 minutes and learning about your retirement accounts and how you can maximize those out, that'll save you tens of thousands of dollars or hundreds of thousands, right? Maybe even more. So, just 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance, right? So here's the funny thing. So those who are the most successful, like at a really high level, I'm talking about real successful people, they often don't actually care about money, and they're not trying to save money. So, they don't care about money in terms of like the stuff it buys, right? Warren Buffett lives in his modest house that's worth 0.001% of his total wealth, probably less than that. It's this house that he bought for $31,000 in 1958 and just never sold it, right? So it's worth $652,000, less than my house. That's ridiculous. How about Jeff? Big B. Has a Honda Accord. Like, come on, Jeff. Like, that's crazy. Or how about this guy, this goofy Zuckerberg here? He's getting into his Honda Fit. Something about Hondas and billionaires, man. Maybe that's the secret. But I think he upgraded to an Acura. So that tells you, look, he's living large now. But they do this stuff because they're actually just focused on like maximizing their business and their investments. Like, they're not getting distracted by this lifestyle creep thing. Because in the end, time is the biggest and most valuable commodity. And so here's my perspective on how to get ahead and how to use this. So we can get back money, right? We can't get back time. So that doesn't mean just YOLO out. I obviously have not YOLO'd out. I've had the opportunity to YOLO out. I looked into, if I just cash this out, I can get a few Ferraris and, be fine, right? But here's the thing. I want you to think that minimalist thinking is amazing as long as you follow these 3 rules. So rule number 1, pay your investments first. So what this means is I want you to think of your investments as your most important bill that you have to pay. What this means is you get a paycheck right away, you put it into the market based on an allocation you feel comfortable with. This is kind of a way to dollar cost average into the market, right? You're just putting it in every paycheck, every month, or every couple weeks. What you need to do though mentally is assume that that money is gone, right? If you can automate it, that's even better because you're not thinking about it. So you can do that with something like the Charles Schwab Intelligent Portfolio. You can just Google that, Intelligent Portfolios, and it basically creates an allocation for you. It automatically rebalances. It automatically does tax loss harvesting, which saves you in taxes, by the way. And it automatically you can set it up so it debits an amount and it puts it into these different stocks and companies that are all well diversified. And this is what I do. Every month, 10K comes out of my account and gets put in here. If you don't want to do 10K, you can do $100. So it's all up to you. The key is consistency. What you want to make sure you do is let money work for you, right? Don't waste it on stuff you don't need. So that's why financial minimalism is really powerful. Money is a vehicle to freedom, right? So anyone can actually be wealthy. They can, right? If they start young enough and they invest what they can and they let things compound, it's insane how things can grow. This is why the rich get richer, right? The rich, they don't work for money. They let the money work for them. So that's rule number 1, is I want to make sure you pay your investments first as a bill. So rule number 2 is to treat your time as your most valuable asset. So it doesn't mean, just don't work and just YOLO out every day. You don't just live once. You live every day, right? And you have a future. And most likely, hopefully, you have a tomorrow. And you die once. That's the once. And so what you can do with your time today determines how you're going to live your life tomorrow. So what can you do to make your tomorrows better, right? Can you invest your time today and build something of value that can compound tomorrow? So many people trade pennies for dollars by thinking short term instead of thinking long term. And I know this because I was like this. In fact, I'm still like this. I struggle to try to remember that I should kind of let things go. I should pay that extra amount. I should buy that extra thing that will help me be more productive or help me learn something faster, right? So it saves me time and headaches and allows me to focus on things that matter more. So that's rule number 2, is treat your time as your most valuable asset and just thinking about what are my opportunity costs? What could I be doing instead? So rule number 3 is understand that it goes deeper than just what can I make with my time here in terms of money, or what can I make with my time here in terms of money, that opportunity cost. If you're getting overwhelmed, if you're getting overworked and overloaded, then try to take a step back, recoup. It might be the best thing for your wealth, right? When you try to optimize all of your time, you can lead down a path of exhaustion and overall just less productivity. So you can be more productive, get more done if you work less. Crazy thought. So instead, you want to be thinking about managing your energy and keep yourself in a sustainable, happy, and productive state. Not only does your income go up, but your quality of life will too. So this is AI reminding you, invest first as your first bill. Value your time and realize time is more important than money, and you can use that time probably to make more money than what's right in front of you. And number 3 is manage your energy so you don't just try to be unsustainably productive. So I hope you liked this video. It's a bit different than usual. I'd love to hear what you think in the comments. I read and answer everyone because we have a small channel. And share this to someone that you think it might help. So that's it. Like this video if you did. I'd love to see the engagement on it, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya.